Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back with another book review, and this time I'm reviewing Gabriel's Promise. This is the fourth book in the Gabriel Inferno series. So, disclaimer: this has something covering the cover because it has my personal information on it, and I just don't want it out there. Not that I think anybody cares, but you never know. So, this is book four, and I have to say, so far, this is my favorite book. Now, I am prone to reread books, so that might change. If it changes and I reread it, then I'll do another review. Sorry to take a sip of water. My throat is killing me. So, the books go as follows. The first book is Gabriel Inferno. I don't have it. I returned it to my friend. This is the second. This is the second book, Gabriel's Rapture. I will tell you, I liked Gabriel's Rapture more than I liked Gabriel's Inferno. And the only reason I read Rapture was because my friend was like, you have to read them, they get better. And it did. I couldn't stand Gabriel's Inferno, couldn't stand Gabriel. I was like, ugh, like to punch him in the face. And then Gabriel's Redemption is book three, which is better than Rapture. And then, because I was already invested and read three books, I decided to read the fourth one, Gabriel's Promise, which, as I said, was a favorite so far. I've given this a 4.2. I don't remember what I gave the other ones, but I don't believe it was that high. But this is my favorite. And I'm going to tell you why. This may have spoilers. If you have not read any of these books, stop right now. If you're interested in reading them, go back and read Inferno, because these are the kind of books that progress and progress and progress. And they follow the same timeline. It's not like 20 years later. No, it's like, oh, 6 months later, a year. So you kind of need that. If you don't want to, that's on you. Do what you gotta do. I've picked up series in the middle of it and was able to follow the thread. So that's your reading style. So this book takes place. Okay, now this is gonna be spoilers if you've never read any of the books. This book takes place right after Julia has the baby in Redemption. And I have to say, I love that. This book moved at a very fast pace. The chapters were short. They didn't go into their scholarly pursuits, scholarly, conversations about Dante and all that. And I like that because I think they made the first couple books so long-winded. I was like, I don't care. I'm not interested in Dante and Beatrice. I'm not. I get the whole things of Dante's Inferno, Gabriel's Inferno is a play on that. I get it. He's a Dante specialist. She's studying Dante. I get all that. I don't need to keep hearing it. I know you're a renowned professor. I get it. But after having it shoved in my face for 2 to 3 books, I'm over it. They didn't go into that. What they did do with this book show the struggles that new parents have. And let me tell you, Gabriel's got money, so they shouldn't be having the struggles, but they're very down to earth, and it shows. Like Julia, she was having issues with the numbness in her leg because of the epidural side effects. And I was like, that's not something you commonly hear in books. Once they have their family, everything's all happy-dory. Sorry, not in this one. They have to go through some little trials and tribulations, and I like that. I like the fact that you get a little bit more closure with her friend Paul. You realize, he's getting over her. He's moving on in his life. And you can kind of see the direction of where he's going to go. I like that aspect. I liked how the author tied up Gabriel's father, Richard, because Richard lost his wife. In the beginning, in the very first book, Richard had lost his wife, and that was his soulmate, the love of his life. And you see how he's dealing with that. I love the fact that Richard was able to become friends with Rebecca, who's kind of like Gabriel's housekeeper. They're like little second family going on there. And he asked her, he was like, because she was with her too, and she was like, I never remarried. After my husband, he was the love of my life. And Richard was like, does it get easier? And she was like, I can tell you the lie that everyone tells you, but it doesn't. You just learn to deal with it. It lessens. But I miss my husband every day. And Richard was like, yeah, I miss my wife every day. And she was like, but you need to move on. You need to have friendships. You need to live. And he was like, would you go to dinner with me so we could talk? And she was like, absolutely. We can be friends. And you see Richard finally healing from losing his wife. And it's sad because you can actually feel how much he loved her. The only thing I didn't like is it didn't clear up, or maybe I read too fast, the sister's issue with not having children. But I mean, it's an ongoing problem. If she decides to make another book, you may find out that the sister did have, baby or adopted. But, the sister and husband are dealing with it. They've got new jobs. Life's going good for them. And, sorry, I have to drink my throat. And the only mystery that's left in this book is why someone broke into their apartment. I mean, not their apartment, their house. And left kind of this little calling card. But I believe I was being nosy, snooping through Sylvian Reynard's website, and she kind of has like a little indie book called The Prince that I think might tie that up. So I don't know if I'm going to read that, try to find it or not. But I thoroughly enjoyed this book. It's a fast read. I read it into a day and a half, dealing with work, kids, storms, everything. So if you're looking for something good and you've read, Gabriel's Inferno, Rapture, and Redemption, and you like them, give Gabriel's Promise a try. Hopefully, the next book I get loaned from the library, I won't have to put a little cap on its head. But like I said, safety first in all things. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hope everyone has a good morning, afternoon, evening. And if you're in an area where a storm's coming, please be safe. And I will talk your ear off later. Bye.